Brod, any predictions for this one? Or
No, I've given up.
you've given up? Right, okay.
There's no point doing predictions because at this point I feel like it is sort of anybody's game. Both of them have shown us that they're incredibly strong teams. Both games were so close as well. It's oh dear. I think we'll be able to tell a little bit more after maybe the 6th round, but until then it is up in the air as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's a fair shout, to be honest. And, you know, at no point really can we have been completely sure about what was going to happen. You would have thought that August, you know, on the downward spiral that they've been on, wouldn't have been able to come through in the fashion that they did earlier on, for example. And then from then on, it's just been trading backwards and forwards, and, you know, nothing has really gone by the script. But at least it's made for a very exciting day of it, which is all good. And let's see what we got on Dust 2. It's going to come down to a little bit of how these guys end up playing it. Got CAZ going to be starting off on the T side. Now, will we see very aggressive play from them? Will they be a little slower? Will they mix it up? Are we going to have that regular Dust 2 type game, which isn't particularly impressive, where it's just hold mid until about 30 seconds to go? Well, we shall see.
Well, at the moment it's actually FM who are holding mid. They've got a fairly good stance there, and Stan... Well, he was pushed up quite far. He's fallen back now, so it does seem that they're giving a little bit of that control away. I think mostly because it's very difficult to hold it consistently for a long period of time. But Som's still going to be there trying to do the damage. Instead, immediately gets tagged down to 11 HP. The Dink, a little bit too much to deal with. Forces both Cat players to fall all the way back, and that means the A site is both weakened up and worse defended. CAZ doing a great job of getting some of that early damage in, and really sectioning FM off, and as well as pushing them back and knowing that they're not going to be there anymore. They clear up mid. They know exactly how many people are going to be where, because you would not have two on short without anybody long. And they can decide how they're going to be pushing. At the moment, it looks like they're wanting to head over towards B, and I don't know. I've got to question that choice. Obviously, they're not aware of what we're aware of, but if I knew Fry was there, I'd be a little bit scared to push out. I'm expecting to see headshot after headshot here. And Fry going to be trying to do it, but instead it's going to be more instant dinks. Robin and Jacob going in with a frag apiece. Hudgy doing what he can, but it's not going to be enough, as he only manages to find one frag before being taken down by Shaq. And Cryptix just diving onto the site to get that bomb down. Going to be taking a little bit of tag damage, but ultimately nothing too serious, as it is going to be a 4 versus 2 situation, and FM forced on the retake. Stan going to be finding one, but 3 more to take. No utility to do it with. He's going to have pixel perfect aim if he wants this to work out.
Yeah, he sure is, and pixel perfect. I like that. I'm going to have to steal that at some point. Where's my notepad? Hang on. And yeah, there's Boaster cleaning the thing up. So CAZ takes a 1-0 advantage in the end. And yeah, I see what you mean by Fry at the back of sight, thinking maybe the form that he's been on might be able to click a few head shoots, but you know, doesn't come of it. And then CAZ put the first one on the board. And you know, only one AK in the mix. They are trying to build a bankroll, and they've chosen the right weapons for it. These SMGs are going to get them 200% kill bonus. Let's see what happens with those in hand.
Well, you've got to assume they're going to be finding the frags, obviously. Unarmored opponents are not aplenty, but definitely there on the FM side. You've got Hudgy and Nilzinho. Nice, soft targets, although Hudgy going to be a threat with that scout, especially if CAZ decide to push down long, which at the moment looks to be exactly what they're setting up for. As soon as Shaq peeks, he's going to find a little bit of trouble, but unfortunately, at least for FM, Hudgy whiffs the first shot. Now he's going to be forced to jump from behind the box. Manages to land one this time, but with a little bit of utility, with some smokes and flashes, CAZ can still make the push work. And if not, they still have control of the map. They can still go anywhere. At the moment, though, they look pretty dedicated. And I've got to question that, because he is just going to be hopping about waiting.
Yeah, for sure. And that actually makes sense, because Chak, he hung back in the end. I was thinking, like, 3rd, 4th in night, surely you want Chak to be going first to try and make that pick. But in the end, he kind of used his teammates, not so much as bait, but more like misdirection, and you know, Huds was flashed off, and I think it was the utility actually that forced him off his platform, and it was a good bit of rifle control in the end from Chak, and we're going to need a little more of that from him as Cryptix throws a nade in, and that's a perfect nade. Actually, down goes Nilzinho, second player there on the short. So, oh, Cryptix, nice, can he get the 3rd? No, he can't. And Som's got 2 actually, so it's now Chak. He's on low enough HP that the Deagle could do the damage. He's just shooting all around Som. Looking for his 4K. Hasn't got a kit in hand. Probably hasn't got the time to be messing around with this. And Chak, yeah, he's just playing rope-a-dope. And ends up picking up the second one, but good economic damage in the end from FM. Dropped a few of those weapons, going to force a rebuy. Only problem is CAZ can then use that opportunity to rebuy, get AKs up in the fray, and that's exactly what they are doing, which is going to be a very dangerous prospect. And now CAZ going to be looking to play this one from distance as much as they can, not give opportunities for the pistols to end up picking up frags. Got head armor all round, so they don't have to worry too much about headshots from the science USPs, and this is probably going to be third one fairly comfortably on the board for CAZ, unless they do something ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this is when you got to question what FM are doing, really. They should know that they've forced them to get those rivals, and as you said, distance is what is essentially going to be keeping them safe, and FM, as a result, do need to push. Finally, they realize that, and they start something towards B, and it almost works out as well. They do a huge amount of damage to Chat, but unfortunately, there's going to be more people there, and they manage to push through, so it's only going to be Som to find the frag. And as he does, he realizes it's only the MAC-10 player he hits, but still, he's going to be going back for more. Manages to take down Robin as well, and now just chasing Cryptics. Hoping for anything else, but unable to find more than the two he had already taken. It is going to be a standard opening. CAZ taking all 3 rounds off the back of that pistol, and FM saving up enough to get back into this one. And they will be getting back into this one in a big way. 4 M4s on an AWP coming out. No kits on any of the players, probably the main concern here. So it's going to have to be good. They're going to have to hold these sites to the end, because as soon as one gets taken, they're going to be facing huge issues in terms of the amount of time they're going to have to retake, especially playing 2 people that committed on long.
And we will soon see if that has any impact, but Cryptics, with him coming up short, you stack the long, and maybe short is an avenue where you can get yourself in there, and the short player has to be a little more passive and sit back, and Neilzinho is in the perfect position to maybe pick up an AWP frag, and CAZ, it's almost like they knew. They haven't gone for it just yet, but just holding that position, and we are seeing the fairly standard get the mid control, work from there kind of deal. They've got to be knowing, working out the maths, getting the calculator out and figuring out that FM have enough cash to buy, so they're not going to get anyone trying to be crazy aggressive on them, you wouldn't think. FM, quite wisely, not doing that at this stage. They've gone through all this effort, lost the 3 rounds to get the buy versus buy. You don't want to throw away that opportunity by completely opening up an avenue for a site to be attacked. And we're now, with 30 seconds left to go on the clock, CAZ need to start making a move, and now they're going into the mid, and they might already have the frag as Som goes down. That smoke is going to be enough to maybe block off the CT, but HudsG is able to get enough for a site to take down Cryptics, and now the push is coming. Fry, he might have a chance to get to, and does, before Boaster picks him up. 15 seconds is the timer now. A couple of players into the CT. He's got to get into the site and get the plant, and he's caught before that happens. Have they managed to drop the bomb inside the window so the plant can come in? Yeah, it looks like that is going to be the case. Chat's going to get that down, unless he's stopped on the plant, possibly. And Stan does manage to... No, doesn't stop him in time. Plant goes in, $800 in the bank for CAZ, but they were just short of ideas when they're standing around the mid, left it too long, and good work from HudsG, just slowing down enough in the CT side, plus a combination of Fry, who got 2 from behind the boxes. Great execution from the CT hold, and FM put a round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, HudsG especially, the fact that he manages to find the first through the smoke. 1, that's impressive. 2, the fact that afterwards he just spams through. No regard for himself. He realizes what's going on with the timer, and he goes, okay, let's stop them being able to move forward. Puts the bullets through, slows them down, potentially distracts them, and allows Fry to do what he did, and secures FM the round. The issue is they now have to secure another one if they want to break the economy, and already that's looking doubtful. CAZ come straight back into this one, find Huds and Stanley, and leave themselves in a great position. I mean, there's still going to be 2 people on A, but if they send even the 3 players they've currently got long to go and take that fight, then they're going to be great whatever happens. Neilzinho, though, potentially only going to have Jacob to go up against as he gets aggressive, and Jacob, caught with a nade in his hand, isn't going to be able to do anything at all. So just like that, it's a 3 versus 3. It still favors CAZ, but not to the same extent, and definitely not in the same way. They're going to have to be clever about what they do, and it looks like we're going to be seeing another hit towards that B side. I'm assuming this time not mid to B, as all of them are grouping up in the tunnels, but they're still attacking the better defended site. They're still attacking the site with the more players on it, and there's a smoke in the way as well, so the clock being burnt down a little bit longer again, and Fry ready in prime position to take anybody who comes through the tunnels.
And that's exactly where the route is coming from, and they do trade 1-for-1. Fry has the opportunity round about the box. He's looking for headshots, so he finds one, but he doesn't manage to quite take Robin. He's down to 13 points of health. Neilzinho has the AWP in hand. Massively overpowered weapon compared to the amount of hit points that Robin is on. Has this information gone through? We will soon find out as Neilzinho makes his choice of weapon. And okay, so he's already got the pistol out. I think he knows. He just needs one bullet with that silenced USP. That's all he needs, and Robin picks it up. So CAZ, I didn't think they were going to get away with that. I thought the only way you can deal with a blue screen of death is to hit the reset button, and I thought FM might have done exactly that, but hasn't quite panned out. And nice work from Robin, good composure, knowing that facing isn't the worst plan in the world, and it's so easy when you're on that low HP 6 just to hide and hope that you can wait for them to chase you down. But he wasn't scared. He was facing. Maybe he knew that he was up against an AWP and that it would be a pistol that he was facing up against. So nice work there, and a possible missed opportunity, I think, for FM as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you who should be hiding this round. Fry. Caught through the doors of the AWP and then runs directly into a nade, not having the best of luck. And now going to be faced with a full might of CAZ. Still manages to land the dink, but not going to be getting any more of that instead. It's up to stop. CZ in hand, spraying away, but can't make anything of it initially. The ammo just not quite enough. So CAZ do a great job, find themselves the B site in its entirety and only have 2 players to go up against, both of whom they know exactly where they are. Neilzinho comes in through the window and Chak is completely ready, finds 1, finds 2, shuts the round out on the anti-eco. A nice, easy one for CAZ, a nice chance to establish their economy a little bit more considering the reset they were hit with a couple of rounds ago. And a little bit of a confidence builder, as well as that, just in general, another round on the board. They've hit 5 already, 2 more and they're in good territory. This one looks like it should be another almost guaranteed one, and it's going to be starting off in much the same fashion as the last. Fry this time not going to be quite as low because he's only legged, but still, that man is so unlucky at the moment. And CAZ should know that the B site is probably a decent hit this time as well. The only issue they might face is Hudge getting aggressive. If he can catch Cryptics from behind, then that could be the perfect play. If not, then it is what it is. He's still in with a good chance of doing some economic damage from that position if the T's head somewhere else, and it's just going to be about that at the end of the day. How much can FM do to essentially hinder CAZ in the coming rounds? Because more than that's going to be almost impossible at this point.
And sure is. Robin doing great damage to Stan as he tries to get in through the mid doors. Minute left to go on the clock, so CAZ just got to be careful that they don't leave it too long before they commit to somewhere. They probably have the idea that they're up against pistols at best by now, either by doing the maths or just by hearing some of the bullets that have been cracked off by these CTs. Stan might have a play, and he's given the game away and does cross, so now they know a couple of players over towards the B. Couple of options. You can either wrap back towards A, use the short, but I think with the way that they're smoking off CT, they are going to take them on, head on into the B site. Fair play to them. I'm going to make the rifles count against the pistols, and Jacob's in there, and that's a couple of kills with the Tech 9. Cryptics and Boaster chipping in on the act as well. He's going to help. And it's Neilzinho, last man against 5 players. Probably another flawless victory, and it is. So CAZ making very, very light work. It was an eco bash, but no need to rebuy anything other than their utility. They've got enough cash to be buying for another couple of rounds yet, even if they end up dropping these. FM, if they get to that point, still got to be wary of the reset. Only a couple of $100 to rub together between them. Double AWP setup, and the double AWP on CT side does too. It does really restrict you, I feel.
And it depends how you want to play it, because it can be restrictive, but it can also be extremely helpful. If you're going to basically dedicate an AWP to the A site, then it's going to be helpful for you. And I think Neilzinho has sort of that in mind at the moment. Obviously, an AWP there is going to be so powerful, because one, it gives you that instant shot as they come around the corner. Two, it gives you the long-range capabilities, but in this instance, it's going to be doing neither. Neilzinho and the 2 other players there shut down instantly, and this is where that restrictive factor comes in. That's going to be a 2 versus 5 retake, something you probably wouldn't go for anyway, but even less likely that they're going to be attempting it because Hudge has the AWP, and it's impossible to work with. And I don't know. I personally feel that the AWP does have merit, or the double AWP does have merit on this map, because you can play it at either site, fairly dedicated. The only issue you're going to find is that if the T's manage to take the other one, it's the same with any double AWP. The retake becomes a little bit more difficult, especially considering the site over at B, where you're going to basically have some very enclosed angles. And well, more than that, more importantly than that, rather, CAZ just secured another clean round mark.
Yeah, they did. All set up by Cryptics. He's just waiting on that angle, using the blue bin for cover outside of long. Gets 2 frags out of that where they just peek round. And just being a little too aggressive FM, and they don't really need to do that. If they know there's a player at the bins, they've probably got a stack load of utility. Use it to keep them in there and make sure that they are taking out the equation. Instead, he gets 2 frags. He's got Rob in there backing him up from the door to pick up the third. And then from that point, it's far too comfortable for him. Back on the pistol again. Kaz going to be putting this thing to 8-1. And then Stan can get in from behind. And he does. Manage to take Jacob and save himself an AWP. What trouble can he cause in mid? Well, he's already got 1 frag before Chak takes him down. So an interesting little cameo coming in there from Stan as he pushes out and gets a little aggressive. But whether that will be enough, I don't know. That AWP that he had in hand is well and truly lost again over towards spawn. Cryptics has a chance to make a play from the tunnels. He's taken down the super low, but those pistols don't give enough firepower and some. Can he add to it? Well, he's trying. He is facing that angle, but he is caught now. And see, they're pushing 3 versus 2 en masse. Neozinho is there. He might be able to spam through the smoke and get one of these low HP players. Robin and Cryptics would have both been easy prey for him had he gone for that. But instead, he's going to wait for his teammate to come in. Hudge G, both of them on the pistol. Going to be a tough hold for him. And CAZ, they're just playing with this kind of freedom on their T setup, which you can kind of understand. It is a T-sided map, and if you do have that comfort, then you can do really well on it. And there's nothing saying that FM can't repeat this performance. But, how many more rounds can CAZ get on this roll? Will they put it beyond doubt? Will they make sure that just the pistol is going to be enough to bring this thing home? Well, let's see. I think Hudge G resigned to the fact that he just hasn't got the time to go in and get this no kit. So he's going to have to disappear out. Maybe could have thought about going for it and dying. But let's see, how's he doing actually? So he's got just that upgraded pistol, no head armor, and he's got 6.2, so he can buy. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's not going to matter if he dies or not. Might as well keep the P250, especially as he's going for the AWP,
Yeah.
Same money, same everything. Now he just has a sidearm instead of a USP, and it's better than nothing. I'm still not sure how much confidence I have in these guys. There's been a lot of gun rounds so far, and they've not really managed to do a huge amount, but it's the first time for everything. And Hudge G going to be jumping on the box. Somehow doesn't manage to find the frag, and instead finds himself tagged down to 50 points of health from the beginning. Not a great place to be, but now lined up on short. The smoke just a little bit too much, so he can't find any luck there either. This guy just seemingly unable to hit anything right now, but continuously looking for new exciting angles to take on, new people to find, and making sure it's fluid. And as an AWPer, being fluid across the map, having that ability to move around, being confident in where you place yourself are all very important factors. But if you can't spot anyone, you're basically useless. Not a criticism of him, just how the game works. And now Jacob's going to be set up perfectly to counter any more plays towards mid he tries to enact. A nice little on-the-fly boost to make sure they have that angle covered off as they try and decide what they're going to be doing with the rest of the round. And again, it's exactly what you were talking about earlier. It's that standard play you see on Dusto of securing mid-control and pushing somewhere from there. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to be short. I think Shaq's death there definitely confirming that sort of idea, and they're just going to be pushing around. They do have a couple of people coming in. Som from the bottom, one man in Goose as well, but Neozinho's dealt with quickly after finding only 1 frag, and Som, he can't really push too far further ahead. Both are going to be taken down though by Stanley, and suddenly it's just Cryptics left in a 1 versus 3 situation. This could be FM's round.
Yeah, quite possibly. Cryptics, oh, nice, he's lined up well on that one, but still got 2 players to find, and that car angle might be difficult, but Cryptics, he's got his second on Stan. They know exactly where he is, and Fry will have the information, but he's got to do something on this. Throws in the fake, and still he goes for it, and Cryptics picks it up. 3v1 clutch, and oh, FM, what's that going to do to your confidence? That was in the bag. They should have taken that thing home. Plenty of opportunities. Don't do it. CAZ take a 9-1 lead. The economy is pretty much shot. I mean, look at that. Just picking whatever they can afford. It's like a jumble sale looking at the FM weapon situation, and it's going to be really tough. They're going aggressive on it here as well, CAZ, and they've got themselves out. That smoke is perfect, and now they can pick off these remaining 2 players that are there trying to change and getting up close. Neil tries to go for the peak and Stan. Fair play. Hunt's going to try and back up if he can, but he Oh, actually, he gets one. So a decent little trade, but long control. Oh, Jacob. No, okay, so he's got taken out, and Stan, I don't know how they've managed that, but they have. That's the scrappiest thing I've possibly seen all day, but we'll take it.
Oh dear. Sorry about that. Yeah. They're going to be extremely happy with that indeed. Stan finding 3 frags off the back of nothing. G managing to pick one up for himself, and 3 weapons recovered along with the bomb. There's really nothing that Boaster's going to be able to do here to make any sort of difference. Maybe going for 1 frag, but as long as they hide, even then they're in good stead, because Fry is ready to back them up if he gets too close. It's one of those positions where the crossfire is going to be a little bit too strong, and he's going to really have a tough time establishing any sort of position that will be even minorly advantageous. So in the end, it's just going to be sort of spamming for a smoke, seeing if he can find somebody peeking at him, and none of that's going to happen. Stan manages to secure the 4K, and FM move forward with their 2nd round on the board. This is going to be another buy round from them, though, and potentially going to be another buy round from CAZ as well. They have the money to play, they have the money to drop, they have the money to keep pushing forward and try to find themselves in the double digits. And if they win this one now, it's going to be the same as what we saw in the 4th round, where FM get reset and potentially have a huge bit of trouble, and it's not going to be starting off well for them. Neil Zeno already taken down, a 2-2 split established right from the start. CAZ now have free reign of the map, free reign of mid, and an easy attack on either of the sites.
That's going to be a big help, and Robin, full of confidence, steps straight out, picks up the frag, no messing around. Switches the AWP over to Jacob, actually, so as that was based off of Spawn that they made that call, so I'm going to go get that pick. Then chucks it back into the hands of the regular AWP. Jacob, he has got caught out, one Sochi round, still sort of sitting around T-Spawn with that AWP in hand, but he's not going to happen this time. They've got cover, they've got Cryptics in there, and FM, now they've got weapons, they're not going to want to throw it away by getting too aggro on a push, especially when numbers aren't in their favour. For CAZ, they've got to be careful that they don't go and hang around too long. They do have this numbers advantage, and they've got to start making that one pay. Jacob not got the angle to make any kind of shot really with his 2 teammates. Now he can, and they are committing for it. There goes one Husky on the spray down. He does get 2 out of it, but that is again another trade in favour of CAZ. They still have the numbers advantage, and more importantly, they've got this long push onto site. Som and Fry some distance away on the rotate. We've got Som coming in from short. Fry throws a helpful flash out, and that has worked. It's allowed Som the opportunity to get Chak as he tries to move to the safety of his teammates, as the bomb now gets planted on the site. Cryptics has the chance. They're both coming in from the same angle. He's got the information. Gets one straight away, just pops up and finds the head of Som. Fry in the same position. Going to try and come in from the same angle, and it's going to allow Robin the chance to fall away, play for time, and drag this out as long as possible. Fry has the kit, but he doesn't have too long, and Cryptics, he has been the man to beat, and he adds his 4th frag of that round. How many Cryptics got total? So 15 frags so far after 12 rounds of Counter-Strike. And CAZ, they push the reset button again. They knock FM all the way back after, what was it, 7 rounds on the spin they put in before that?
6? This is me trying to count. Yeah, I think 6 rounds before that, and then 1 loss, and they're right back on it, Mark. And you can see the effect of that at the moment. FM are back on pistols. They've got 1 set of armor between them, a single flash to use, and it's sort of rounds they need to be winning at this point. Obviously, CAZ already in the double digits, and with us being a fairly even map, that's bad enough. If CAZ can find any more, then we are going to be seeing exactly what you were describing earlier. Maybe CAZ pushing themselves to that point where all they have to do is pick that pistol round up in the next half, and the game's going to be theirs.
Now you never know, Chak. Oh, and he's taken Fry down to 19. Oh, that could have been interesting. Would have completely opened up that B attack if they wanted to go for it. But at the moment, CAZ have got to exercise a little bit of caution. They are up against full pistols, and that weapon wasn't recovered. But they have lost a teammate in the process, so they can't be too aggressive. They've got to make sure that they make their numbers and their weapon advantage count. Just going to play as passive as he can. Might be looking for the head shoots as these players come barreling out, and they are going to take him on head on. HG is getting hammered by the fire, He has to drop out of there, and he is in the end taken by Robin, who was crisp and on point. And to be honest, the fire damage didn't matter. Robin would have picked up that frag anyway, as Boaster is able to grab Stan. And they're coming in one at a time. This is not going to work, guys. Boaster is having a field day, just mopping up these guys. And they should have just been waiting, be a little more patient, go in as a unit, and it would have been perhaps a different story. They could have gone in en masse, but, you know, it's not happening. It's like Zerglings for those StarCraft 2 players. Even though you're short on firepower, if you go as a unit and swarm, then you can do some serious damage. But, you know, no such luck, and now it's down to Neilzinho with his AK and Fry with the pistol to make it happen. And I think they are... Oh, yeah. There's no commitment, so they're just going to drop off, keep hold of that AK, make it safe, and see what they can do. Maybe try and get just a third round. One more might give them at least half a fighting chance.
I mean, it's interesting you say that, because it's a point that I've talked to death on a different tournament I was doing where, and I've probably talked about it a fair amount here, but it is important to note. The double-digit scores are sort of the most important ones, right? If CAZ can find 12 rounds and FM manage to put one more and get 3... and they at least have a chance in the second half. Should they lose pistol round, it's only going to get to match point by the time that they can get a buy-in, right? That's important. Say it goes to 13-2, then pistol round and second round become vitally important, and any more than that, then you're just in a worrying place indeed. Yeah, if they can find that third round, they're going to be in much better stead, and it's potentially what they want to be doing at this point, but, as I think you were pointing out, this is sort of their last chance to do it. They have very little money left if they manage to lose this round, and this round's definitely not the best either. A couple of FAMASs, low utility, only one kit split between all of them, and CAZ still looking dominant. They've got full mid control. They've not lost even a single point of health, I don't think. They have the majority of their arsenal of utility left, and really they're just going to be doing what they've done in rounds previous. They can do what they want, find the early pick, and go anywhere on the map. And at the moment, it looks like that might be the mid to B split coming in.
Yeah, short chance to stand though if he wants to keep challenging, and maybe he wants to drop out there after all, and he does not do that. Instead he tries to face, go for the extra Fry, go do some damage, and he does, but he brings it back to a 3 versus 3, and they've got this mid to be on. Fry's in some serious trouble. He is going to get swarmed super quick, and actually Fry's managed to get another one. He's living to fight another day for the time being, as Boaster's got himself into the site, but Neilzinho going to try and come in from behind. Husgy, super low HP, he gets caught out, and Neilzinho avenges his teammate, but maybe just a second too late. Boaster, where are you going? Neil, where are you looking? Wow. I mean, these two guys both nearly blundered that thing, and Neil, he's down to such low HP that one shot will do it, and Boaster, he has to flick to make that thing happen, but Boaster's been on some form as well. He's tearing through, and he's picking up these rounds for his team at times when it looks like they might have potentially been lost. CAZ 12-2 guaranteed. And for FM, they want this third one, but look at what they've got. That's all they can afford is MP7, upgraded pistol, CZ, Scout, Ump. Wow, that's
yeah,
that's a mishmash.
Well, I mean, at least they're going to be trying new things. We see Stan try and get aggressive there. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out, and he does have his head taken clean off, but Som's aggression is going to be paying off. Him and Fry managed to take Shaq down early on, so maybe, just maybe, if they can get the majority of their pushes to be actually effective, then they're in with a chance, but at the moment they are going to be at the disadvantage quite heavily. Neilzinho, the man that could make the difference here. If he can catch Boaster at the top of mid, that makes everything so much better for FM in the car. And that means that we are going to be seeing the push come through. We are going to be seeing a site gain for them. And the bomb, Boaster even decides that he's going to be heading through long instead, taking the safer route, making sure he can get there because they just want to close this out quickly. And realistically, at this point, you've got to assume they're going to. FM have, what, one flash, one smoke, an AK on either player, yes. But very little health to be working with on Som, and Fry, as good as he is, he's just not going to have the best position. I mean, he's even blocked off by a Molotov at the moment, so you've got to assume this one's going to be going the way of CAZ. Jacob watching for anybody trying to take any other angles, and indeed, he's going to be starting it off. Finds Som quickly. Now just Fry to take, and there's 3 players looking his way. Manages to find the first. Going to be trying to see what more he can do, and he's going to be able to see both of them potentially. Pushes through, catches sight of Jacob's head, but can't do anything about it before the Tech 9 bullets ring out. It's 13-2 to CAZ, and that means that if they take the pistol, if they take the second round, then they have won this series.
Yeah, and I can't look past them, to be honest. And for FM, it's tough. And you would think that if a team could do that to you on T-side, on Dust 2, where it is a T-sided map, you would expect that you could do the same thing to them. But it's tough to really get any kind of momentum going. You look, Neilzinho got 5 frags, Fry and Hudgy only got 7 out of 15 rounds worth of Counter-Strike, and you never really hit your straps at that point. It's tough to keep the momentum going, and then of course, that the slightest mistake, it's a difficult one for you. You tighten up and you kind of alligator arm your shots sometimes as well. It's a very human reaction to things, and it's a sign that in any kind of competition, the psychological aspect of it can sometimes take the same, if not greater, precedent than your actual ability to play the game. And the Boaster, so he's spamming through the smoke, completely blind. He's got no idea what he's doing, but he's on point. Cryptic's doing some damage as well, trying to find the head, and Jacob does exactly the same thing. The pistol is probably going to get locked down. They will get the plant, so that's going to help. And there's a chance that they can force up and play for overtime if they can just get a few more of these plants in. But Boaster, and he's able to pick up the frag. Hudgy tries to chase. He's got 4 players he's got to find. Gets 1. Come on, Hudgy. Let's make this interesting. Taking down to super low HP. He is caught by Jacob. Diffuse comes in. CAZ end up winning this. And yeah, I guess the plant is a help for FM. It doesn't mean we can completely rule them out, but this is pretty much done.
Well, I mean, the thing is that plant does throw off the double digits thing, right? 13 and they don't get a plant, that's game over. 13 and they get the plant. Then even if they took nothing through into this round, they'd still be in with a chance to play for overtime. It'd be unlikely, but it'd be possible. But apparently they don't want to go for any of that. Instead, they're going to be going for Tech 9's armor and full utility. Just everything they can throw at this round to try and get something started here. And I'm actually interested about the routes they're going to be taking, because they're heading over towards the A site. But almost everywhere you're going to be going on the A site, you have long-range angles you have to tackle. And with the Tech 9s, those are not going to be too good for you. I would have been expecting more of a B rush, or potentially even a mid to B if they wanted to take something a little bit more long-range. Instead, it looks like it's going to be an A split at the moment. This is very interesting indeed, but might just work out. The only issue is Boaster and Robin aren't going to be there, and Boaster, he's watching from below, spamming into them. Robin doing the main amount of damage though with that FAMAS. And suddenly it's a 2 versus 5 situation. Stan is going to be able to pick up 1, but that's all there is for them. And CAZ managed to secure round 15 with ease. That's a lot of their money gone. That's FM having to force up into the last. And that is match point ready there. Potentially the last round coming up now. And I mean, I wouldn't doubt him up.
No, I can't look past it. And from what was so tense for the first couple of maps to see this as the way to finish off, is completely unfathomable that we're in this position. But we are. And Jacob, he's getting aggressive. He's facing up with the Swag 7. He's taken Som down to solitary 2 points of health, which isn't going to help Boaster. Oh, okay, he's taken down by Neilzinho. He's pretty much flying side. He's got the chance to take out 2 players, actually, and he's going to be calling, and Hudgy's managed to take out Jacob with the Swag 7. But Hudgy and Neilzinho have both been taken down by a fair margin. And where's that bomb? It's over in the tunnels, where it's Cryptic's trying to do something, and maybe he could have just sat in and waited and baited these guys to come in. It's now down to Chak. What can he do? Well, he's going to get on his bike from the mid and try and come in. May as well go for it. 4v1, especially with these guys on such low HP. He's probably got the information, and I'm sure he'll be at least tempted to make a play on this, trying to pick up a couple of frags.
One of those situations where if you mess up, you're not going to get too shouted at by your team because you're in a good place. If you take it, then you're a hero. Unfortunately, in this case, he's not the hero, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. FM managed to secure themselves a 3rd round. They've still got 12 to go if they want to get anywhere with this, if they want any chance of winning whatsoever. And so CAZ, they can sit back and relax. For some reason, they're buying in this round, and that worries me. Alright, if they're cocky enough to be buying in a round like this where they don't have the money and there's a lot of time left, that's sort of how games like this are lost. If you're sat at 15, they're sat at 3. Yes, it might feel like, oh, we can just buy until we have money. A lot of the time, what you're just going to be doing there is bleeding rounds when you don't have the full buys, and they do. And realistically, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting to see CAZ on a full eco this round, come into the next one with everything, all guns blazing, and close it out there. Instead, FM might get to have a little bit of a run. That's if they can get something started in this round. And apparently, CAZ don't need rifles to find the frags. Stan just found that out as Robin hits the double headshot with the P250. and takes him out, leaving 4 versus 5 as the situation for FM eSports, and I'm assuming leaving their heads in their hands as they try and figure out how they lost a player in this round.
And now they are going for it. Neilzinho with the opening pick does take down Robin, who wasn't able to retrieve a weapon out that frag that he was able to get. So Plant is going to come in. Chak is able to take down Fry again. Pistol against the rifle. How have you just managed that? And Chak has got himself a Galil. See what he can do with that. Neilzinho and Som are on point with their rifles, but Chak is going to try and live to fight another day. Jacobs also picked himself up a rifle, so that's doable. That nade into midair does nothing. Chak, what can he do in the clutch situation? Then he's got 100 to find, and he does. Brings the thing home, and well, are you surprised to see that happening? No, not really. A bit of individual brilliance. 4 frags it was from Chak to bring that thing home, but it is the GG. And after such a close encounter between these two teams, FM get themselves onto Dust 2 and completely fall apart against CAZ eSports.